Hello, class. This is Mr. Parsons here. Just want to take a few minutes to just talk to you about uh, some sample questions that we have coming up for our upcoming tests. And so just trying to help us be in the best position to do well on the test here. So we want to look at some questions similar to what you see on your upcoming test. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So we're looking at this as saying identify the terms of this expression 9x squared minus 5x plus 7. So you want to, first of all, a term is separated by your operator, by your addition or subtraction sign. So we have 9x squared, that's a term, minus is separated by that, 5x, that's a term, plus, that's a separate right there, 7. So your term, you have three terms here, 9x squared, negative 5x, and 7. So your answer to this question would be A, B, and C. All right, let's take a look here. It's saying if x, a given number, the expression 4 less than the product of 3 in a given number is written as, and these are our answer choices. This is one of the questions that will trip us up because a lot of students, they see that word less than and they see the inequality symbol and they want to select that. But we've been doing expressions and equations, not inequalities. All right, so A wouldn't even be a viable of choice to choose at this particular point because we're not doing inequalities. But think about it. 4 less than the product. When you're doing a product, you're multiplying 3 times your variable. So 3 times your variable minus 4 because it's 4 less than the product. So it's going to be B. Now, if it said 4 minus the product of 3 in a given number, then it will be C. All right. Let's take a look here. It says Maria wants to buy a concert ticket that costs $150. She already saved $45. If she saves $15 each week from her part-time job, how many more weeks does she need to save to afford the ticket? Well, so what we want to do here is the total is 150. All right, 45 has been already saved and saves 15 each week. So 15 times the number of weeks. That's what we're trying to find out. So we set this up. This is saying 15 times the number of weeks because we don't know that. Plus the $45 has already been saved equals the total amount for the concert ticket. Now we have an equation here we're going to solve for. So you want to subtract 45 on both sides. You're going to get 105. And then take 105 divided by 15. You're going to get 7. So it takes 7 weeks for Maria to save up enough money for the concert ticket. All right, let's take a look here. The perimeter. Find x of the perimeter is 41. The perimeter is the distance around the figure. So to find the perimeter, you need to add all the sides up together. Now the perimeter is given. All right. So basically, we need to solve for x. We need to add the sides. We got to do 3x minus 5 plus 2x plus 1 plus 4x equals the perimeter of 41. So now that we have our equation set up, we want to go ahead and combine our like terms. Our like terms here is going to be 3x, 2x, and 4x. 3x, 2x, and 4x is 9x. Our other like terms is negative 5 and 1. Negative 5 and 1 gives you negative 4. So we have 9x minus 4 equals 41. Now we can go ahead and solve for this. All right. So what we want to do is add 4 on both sides. 41 and 4 gives you 45. And then take 45 and divide by 9. And that gives you 5. So your answer will be C, 5. X will be 5. All right. And that will make the equation true. Let's take a look here. The total cost T of a meal, including taxes, modeled by this equation. T equals M plus 8.25. M is the cost of the meal before tax. Which equation is correctly solved for M? So this is a literal equation. A literal equation, you are rearranging your equation so the variable that you want is on one side of the equal sign by itself. So basically, I want M all by itself on the equal sign. So in order for me to do that, I have to move 8.25 to the other side by doing inverse operation. So what I need to do is subtract 8.25 on both sides. Once I do that, M is all by itself. And then I'm left with T minus 8.25. So T minus 8.25 equals M would be my answer, and that's going to be A. All right, let's look at number 6. It says solve this equation here. Now notice we have distributive property on both sides of the equal sign. So what we need to do, we got to do 2 times 3x and 2 times 4 on the left side of the equal sign. We got to do 5 times x and 5 times negative 2 on the right side of the equal sign. When we do that, we're going to have 6x plus 8 equals 5x minus 10. Now that we got variables on both sides, we're going to bring the variable to one side of the equal sign. So I want to bring 5x over to the left because that's just the smaller coefficient. So I'm going to do the inverse operation. I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to do 6x minus 5x. That gives you 1x or just x. So I'm left with x plus 8 equals negative 10. And then to solve for x, I want to subtract 8 on both sides. Negative 10 minus 8 gives you negative 18. So the answer to this would be D, negative 18. All right, let's look at number 7 here. All right, we got 18 minus 2 times 3 plus x plus 3 equals 4x plus 6. I want to solve for x. The first step, we want to do the distributive property. So I need to do negative 2 times x plus 3. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. So 18 minus 2x minus 6 equals 4x plus 6 is the equation after I do my distributive property. Now that you do the distributive property, what you want to do is combine like terms. So if I look on the left side of the equal sign, my like terms is 18 and negative 6. So if I do 18 minus 6, that gives me 12. So 12 minus 2x equals 4x plus 6. I got variables on both sides now. So what I want to do, I want to work on moving the variable to one side of the equal sign. I'm going to move 2 over to the right, but that's just a smaller coefficient. So I'm going to add 2x on both sides, and it's going to leave me with 12 equals 6x plus 6. Now we got a two-step equation here. Subtract 6 on both sides. 12 minus 6 gives you 6, so 6 equals 6x. Divide 6 on both sides, and x equals 1. So your answer will be A. Now if I look at this, this is a two-part question. While at the amusement park, Carlos buys snacks for his siblings. He purchased 1 soda for $3 and 4 slices of pizza. If he spent $19 total, the first part, write an equation that could be used to determine how much each slice of pizza costs. Let P represents the cost of 1 slice of pizza. So let's figure out how this equation could be mirrored to match this scenario. So a couple things that stand out. Soda is $3 plus the 4 slices of pizza equals $19. We're trying to find the cost of 1 slice of pizza. We don't know that. So that's going to be our variable. P represents the slice of pizza. How many slices? 4 of them. So 4 times P plus the soda, which is $3, equals 19. That's going to be A. Now that I got my equation, I want to take this equation and solve for P so I can find out the cost of a slice of pizza. So if I got 4P plus 3 equals 19, I want to solve for P. Subtract 3 on both sides. 19 minus 3 gives you 16. Take 16 divided by 4. P equals 4. So your answer would be B. So you got $4 for a slice of pizza. That's an expensive slice of pizza right there. And then let's look at this last one right here. We want to solve the proportion. 4 over x equals 8 over 12. And basically a shortcut, which I heard really long, but this is a shortcut technically. You want to you can multiply 4 times 12 and 8 times x. So 4 times 12 equals 8 times x. With your proportion, because you're looking at proportion relationships here. All right, the same relationship. And so if we do 4 times 12, that gives you 48. 8 times x is 8x. All right, and then we just want to solve for x. So we want to go ahead and divide both sides by 8. When you do that, you're going to get 6. So 6 will be the value of x here. And if you substitute x for 6, you see it's going to have the same relationship here. Because if you simplify both fractions to the simplest form, they both will simplify to 2/3. All right, so A will be the answer here. So what we did was we took a couple minutes to go over some sample questions similar to what you will see on the test that's coming up soon. So hopefully you'll be able to look over this video, look over your study guide, work through your problems, and be in the best position to be successful.